was sleeping on me, but it's time to wake up. Wake up! The girls are about to turn it up.
Hey everyone, I'm so sorry, but my camera is sideways. It's not the right way while I'm recording, but I really want to get this information out here. I only recorded it once, and I recorded this information like last month, so I do apologize. But here's part 2 of the downfall of season 3. So during this time, I'm helping her and trying to be there for her. She's sabotaging. Cold Wave. I have my older girl team against me, and I didn't know why. Right? I didn't know why they had problems, but it was kind of like they would be like, when when your girls start acting different. Okay, especially if you coach these girls for a long time, but they start acting a little weird and different, a little distant. And I peeped it, and I didn't say nothing because they're kids. And some of the girls, they talked to me, and some of the things they were saying, I was kind of like, oh, okay. They were telling me things and how they felt like I was choosing the new staff over the old staff, and I'm not right. That wasn't right to do that. And you shouldn't put the new staff above the old staff, and so forth and so forth. And I'm thinking to myself, what are they? What? Where are you getting this from? Yeah, because you hang out with the new staff, you don't hang out with the old staff, and you listen to the new staff, and you don't listen to the old staff. If they have problems and concerns, you just pushing them away. You pushing the old staff away. This behooves me. I pushed them away. So I'm just listening, and I'm like, I'm just a black fat girl trying to just keep it all together. Keep the program together. Keep everything running smoothly. Most cheer companies, organizations have staff. They delegate. Everybody has to do this. Cold Wave has Shelly. The graphics, the websites, the phone calls, the routine, the uniforms, the Cold Wave have Shelly. Everything. Talking to parents, classes. Cold Wave have Shelly. Coach Shelly. Coach Shelly don't got no help. She got staff around her, but the new staff she's training so that way she can get help. Because I don't have help. I just have people around me, but I don't have help. And the stuff that they're doing to help is minimum. It's so minimum. So it's not what people think. They're thinking like, oh, they're doing this, and this, and they're doing that, and I don't know why this is not organized, or I don't know why this didn't flow, and I don't know, because Shelly's going crazy, because Shelly's doing it by herself. She is. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I'm doing it by myself, and I'm trying to keep people happy who's not helping the organization. Because we're family. Girl, I just wish that I did not do that. I should have made it more business and be more on my businesswoman stuff instead of being so friendly and we're friends and don't worry about it. Anyway, back to the story. So, the children speak. The athletes speak, the children speak. I'm hearing the story. I'm like, what? There's a situation that comes to my attention that the new staff, because I put one of the new staff onto level 2.1, and she is basically the head coach got a problem. Because now the new staff is coming to tell me stuff that's on the team, that's going on around the team. She can't peacefully talk crap. She can't peacefully do what the hell she want to do. Now she has somebody reporting to me. I didn't ask for a spy. She ain't spying. She just really just wants to know what's going on and how she can just help Hailstorm. So when she goes and talks to the head coach, far as I'm referencing the new coach. The new coach goes and talks to the head coach of Hailstorm. She's not getting answers. She's getting dismissed or pushed off. So now she's coming to me and asking me the same questions so she can try to get answers and try to help out. But it comes off like, oh, you're just reporting. She's not reporting. You're not answering her questions. Which is weird because you know what you're doing. You know how to coach. You know what you're doing. So, anywho, I talked to the head coach. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And she told me what's going on with her personal life. I'm like, okay, cool. So I know she got a lot going on. And she started distancing herself. Not only from me, but she just seemed distant, you know. And I'm like, okay, cool. First competition. Because remember, we had to cancel the one in December. So our first competition was in January. So like the New Year's happened. The holiday happened. The holidays. New Year's happened. All that. This is our first competition. Everybody back. This pissed me off about... This is not funny. This pissed me off about my program sometimes. Everybody be like not coming to practices, not paying their tuitions, they just not nothing, right? And then everybody want to be at practice before competition. Like, I needed her before. I needed her all preseason. I needed her. You know what I mean? And now they're like, yeah, competition coming up. We all gonna be here. You don't know nothing. Anyway, so the only person I was really worried about is the girl that went on vacation break. But her parents informed us that they was going on break. So I wasn't really tripping because they communicate well. So as long as my parents communicate with me, I don't have a problem with them. So she came back. So I was only worried about her because, she had a little break longer than the other girls. So I was only supposed to be worried about her. Just her. No, I'm worried about everybody else. So Blizzard was fine. They had their routine. Like I told you, we ended up doing full outs. They had more full outs done than Hailstorm. So Blizzard was okay. I wasn't really worried about them for the mat. I was worried about their stunts not sticking. That's really about it. And then the athlete that was on break. I was worried about her. But other than that, she did really well. Right? Because Blizzard has their routine earlier than Hailstorm, right? So they performed, they did well. Y'all, Hailstorm hits the mat. Rewind a little bit. While we're in the back, right? While you're in the back getting ready to hit the mat, why would we practicing our run through? None of the stunts. When I say none, zero. Not one. Not uno, not one stunt went up. As an owner, it's my worst nightmare because I'm like, maybe I should pull them. We're in the back. We're like on deck, right? Like you're by the curtain. And I'm thinking to myself, I might need to call a rep from varsity to pull these girls because they're not ready. But I say, you know what, Lord? Let your will be done. And you know what he did? Let their will be done. They got on that mat and dropped all the stunts. No stunt went up. Not one. We went from being on a high horse for level 1 Blizzard, being like, yeah, they did so good. To Hailstorm performing, and my freaking brain exploded. I told you before that I have anxiety. Real bad. Bump anxiety. If I have never did a drug in my life, but that day, y'all could have gave me some crack cocaine, and I would have been all right. I would have been a little crackhead. I would have been all right. Because my nerves in my body was so effed up. I could not think. I couldn't think. I couldn't think. I couldn't fix it. I couldn't do anything. I was so hurt for my athletes, because these are my returners. So I was so hurt for my athletes that I was like, I want to save them. When they're performing, I just want to go on the mat and save the stunt. Or I want to go on the mat and help them. I just want to help them, And I have never been that mad in my life. And I've been through some crap, okay? I'm not a privileged child at all. At all. I'm not privileged at all. I've been through a lot. But that day, I wish I could just take everything back. I just wish I didn't have to put my girls, my athletes, through that. That's what I wish. I wish I didn't have to experience that. So, after the performance, I went outside by myself. Of course, my sister came out to check on me and another staff member. But I had to think. It was cold. I didn't even care if it was cold. I didn't have no coat on. I didn't even care. I was so out of place. But I had to get it together because I have children who feel like me. Out of place, feels discouraged, sad, and I said, we go back in there, show face. I'm going to talk to all the members of Hailstorm. So I'm going in there talking to all the girls on Hailstorm. The only one who didn't seem upset was the head coach's niece. She's the only one who didn't seem upset. Which I collected it. I put it in my head. I did not talk to her. Because she didn't need to be talked to. Because she seems okay. She was happy. She's walking around happy, eating her food. She's just fine. Everybody else I talked to. And I have a lot of athletes that I love. But this one athlete in particular, she's like a killer. She's like the secret weapon of Cold Wave, honey. She's really, really good. And, I have 2 of them like that. But she's really good. And, I was talking to her and she said, I don't want to cheer. This is after the performance. She said, I don't want to cheer. Mind you, I've been training her since she was small, like 7, 8. And she's like, I don't want to cheer anymore. And it broke my whole heart. Like, I was like, what? Which makes sense why she would say that, because of how the routine went. But I talked to her and said, don't quit. Just trust me. Don't quit. And she decided to stay on the team, not quit. Trust me. I talked to all the girls, and all the girls was, they was mad in their own ways. Except for that one. So then, girl, next practice, or guy, next practice, right? The practice after that terrible competition. So we going through the score sheets and stuff. Of course, Blizzard did decent. I believe they got like an 80-something, no 90. They did decent because Blizzard usually get like 90s, but they got the 80-something. I said, okay, cool, whatever. Hailstorm got a 77. The lowest score of Cold Wave history. We have never got any 70 anything. The lowest we ever got is 80-something. And a 70 is like unheard of. Like, to me, I'm like, who gets a 70? A 77, like, what? You do. You get a 77. You get a 77. You have no steps go up. But on the score sheet, everything was like high, as far as like the dance, as far as the minor stuff. Overall, as far as their tumbling jumps and all that, those was high. Which is the stunts messed them up so bad. Because they was attempting them and they was dropping, attempting them and dropping them, and attempting them and dropping them. So, anyway, we had practice. Oh, let's rewind. We at the arena on competition day, and I called a coaches meeting ASAP. In the coaches meeting, I'm like, I need to get more girls. I need to do this. I need to do that. I'm just trying to figure out how to fix it because my mind is going 100 miles per hour. Because now I went from not feeling nothing to now all my thoughts just rushing in trying to save this program. And I have to talk to my parents. I'm talking to parents, whatever. So cool. In the meeting, it's like a quick little meeting before we actually have a real meeting. The head coach is like cool, calm, and collective, like her niece. She cool, calm, and collective like her niece. New coach is stressed out, worried. My sister's like, what the heck, Shelly? Everybody's like either mad, sad, or just out of place. You can just tell they're just like out of place, like in the mood. She cool, calm, and collective. That's when I realized she's sabotaging. Cold Wave have never put a team on the mat, and that happened. That was the beginning of the downfall for season 3. The beginning. The beginning where it affected the whole program. First, it only affected the coaches. It affected the coaches, the athletes, the parents, the owner, and future members. That was the worst competition ever for Cold Wave Athletics. Shortly after that, we was preparing to go to Ocean City, our next competition, and the mood at practices was horrible. Horrible. Long story short, the head coach's niece had a bad attitude on one day because she's always so nice and pleasant. But this one particular day, she had a bad attitude. And I guess she got into it with the new coach that was on the team. And not into it like a big argument or whatever, but she was just probably like a little snappy, like a little, like teenage stuff. Not like she was disrespectful and cussing at her and being, because that's not her. That's not how she is. But she was a little moody, like teenagers be, because the teenagers, all of them be moody sometimes on level 2. Sure. But I guess she snapped at her a little bit, you know, in her tone of voice. And the coach didn't like it, so she told me about it. And I called my head coach, because that's her aunt. And I called and told her, and she was like, "What?" She was being what? And she was kind of like doing too much. I was like, yeah. She's like, she just snapped at her or whatever. She had like a little tube, but she wasn't disrespectful, like, cursing at her or nothing like that. She was. I don't want to sell a story like she's so disrespectful, because no, that's not what she was. She just probably had a bad day. Um, the very next day, I reached out. I reached out to call the head coach to see if she's okay, and also to see like how we can move forward, because she was saying she had some issues with payment or whatever, and I was trying to make a way where I can resolve those issues, because I didn't want her niece not to cheer for Cold Wave. So I was calling her to talk to her about what we can do about her niece, so she can continue to cheer, and also so she can feel more comfortable, because clearly something's going on between the coach and the coaching staff. So I wanted to talk to the aunt, the head coach. I tried to call, she didn't answer. I called again, I believe, and she didn't answer. But she sent me an email saying that she quit. Her and her niece quit. And all I could think of is, why you ain't quit why you ain't quit in preseason? Because you quitting during competition season is the worst. Why you just didn't sign on? Why you did not just sign on? Or why didn't you quit when you didn't have that routine? You know you didn't have the routine. Why didn't you just quit? Because I can deal with parents being mad at me because I canceled another competition. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'd rather cancel one more competition, which is the January one, and then have Hellstorm compete for Ocean City and the other ones. I could have did a lot of other things. You know what I mean? I could have did things where we can get that team together if you would have quit it early on. But you quit it during the competition season. And because she's so close to the admin, the other admin, I'm like, okay, so now she gonna quit. Because they clicked up. You know what I mean? So then I talked to my other staff member, and I was asking her, like, I made the deal I was going to make with the head coach and her niece. I gave it to her friend, or the other admin I have in my staff. I gave it to her and her daughter, so she can finish her season out, and they can do whatever. But because I kind of figured that it was division. But when when one of them athletes told me, like, what was really the tea, like what was really going on, because I didn't know what was really going on, I was like, oh, that's what's going on. That's the talk in town. But that's not even the truth. That's not the truth. So yeah, now we're at Ocean City, and we had to like redid the whole routine for Ocean City, and the girls were like still kind of like in their head. They were still kind of like in their head from the first competition, that from all the falls and stuff. They were still in their head. They did better at Ocean City, but we had no toss. We had no baskets, so they didn't score high. They scored higher than 7-7. But it didn't score high enough to beat the other teams. And because we didn't have no basket toss. So after that, the girls like got 4th place. We didn't even go to awards, girl. Like, I was so drained with varsity. I'm not gonna get into varsity because, honey, I can talk about varsity all day. Because like, I have a love-hate with varsity. Like, I love them. Like, I love some of their staff. You know, shout out to Lauren. I love some of their staff, but they be doing too. Anyway, I'm sorry. Ah, Lord. Anyway, so I don't want to go into that. But anyway, the girls end up getting 4th place at that competition. But they had a higher score. You know, now they was doing better. And then we did Blizzard. They did well as well, but they got 3rd place with a 91. And I believe the winning team was like a 95 or something like that. I think the 1st place team was 95. So it was like, they was all like close, and I think it was like a 95. Was it 95, 96? But all the 3 teams the other 2 teams, they were like close. So that was cool. And then we went to Greenbelt next. I believe Greenbelt is the next competition. And the girls did extremely well. Like, Hailstorm, they finally got their 90 score. They got like a 90 something. And then Blizzard got the same score. I believe they got like a 89. They went down a little bit. And they got 2nd place. So not really sure about these scores, guys. I know the 1st place team got a good score. But yeah. After that, I had payment issues like a mug. Like, for real, y'all. Like, I had parents. Okay, let's put it this way. Every owner knows this. You have parents that pay on time, right? They pay on the 1st. And then you got parents, that's your ideal client, right? The 2nd tier is the parents that pay between the 1st and the 5th. Okay? That's also an ideal client. And then you got the parent, this the 3rd tier. You got the parent that pay between the 5th and the 20th. Okay? Not your ideal client, but you can deal with it. Okay? The last tier, nobody wants. Nobody wants this tier. This the tier that says, I'm not paying for nothing. Most people would kick them off. At Cold Wave, try to be understanding. I make payment plans for these kind of tiers. That's my problem. I should have kicked them off. So I'm walking around making payment plans they're not sticking to and they're not paying. And now I got bills in the thousands. So I'm paying for your child to cheer. You owe me money. And you're telling me you're going to pay the money, but you don't pay. So I kick your kid off. And then you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to pay. Now I'm going to be the bad person because I'm going to take you. Now I'm the bad person. Because I want to take you to court. And I know I'll win. So it's causing problems in the payments and stuff. So when you don't have money, you can't do all the competitions, right? We don't have 100+ athletes where I could just be like, oh, okay, bye. We need their girls to cheer. I don't want to let down the team. I don't want to let down other parents because I have to kick this person off the team now because, and they're like, oh, where the back spot? Oh, she's removed. Why? She just removed. Why just removing people? I'm not just removing people. I want them to cheer. They don't want to cheer. They don't want to pay for it. So what you want me to do? And I've been paying, acting like everything is okay, and it gets up there, because you don't have a typical bill. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, I'm paying for one person. It's okay. I'm just paying for that one person. No, it's like when you don't pay your dues, it affects multiple expenses. You know what I mean? Which affects one of the expenses is competition. So I'm canceling comps. And I'm not just canceling comps, guys. I'm canceling hella comps. Which means now I'm against the contracts. Like, now I'm telling parents we're going to do this many competitions. We're not doing those many competitions. So it looks like the organizations can't keep their word. Because I'm letting too many athletes not pay. So then they're used to it. Now I don't got to pay. Not only they're not paying, they're not even supporting. They're not even coming out to the competitions to support and just to be a part of the crowd, be a part of the team. They're not even supporting. Like, it's to a point where it's like, girl, I'm stressed out. I'm canceling competitions. I got to deal with coaches going back and forth because the atmosphere is better because, that coach quit. So the atmosphere is better, but you still have lingering spirits. Let's put it that way. That, that's really against you. And then, I got parents in my ear with gossip that I don't care about. So, like, all of that, and still having to do the regular work. I still have to do work. I have to still make sure the business runs, right? And we go to Florida to do Summit. We do Rec Summit. I'm sorry, we didn't go to Summit. We went to Celebration that year. Season 3 went to Celebration. So we go to Florida. We go to Florida, and y'all, I swear to goodness, like, no matter what you do, you can't make other people happy. I tried my best to make sure the girls were happy. I tried my best out there. I felt like I was by myself. I did have one parent, shout out to Pumpkin, she was helping me out. But I felt like I was doing a lot of stuff by myself. Like, by myself. For real. Everybody had their own issues and problems. I was just trying to make sure I get the girls out so they could have fun and do stuff, because we're in Florida. But it was just so complicated and stressful. It was really stressful. And then, the girls, they did well. Quick story about the celebration. In the back, the girls did extremely well. Like, they hit all their stunts. Because now the team is merged. Now it's only Blizzard. So, because so many girls fell off of Hailstorm, we just had one. We had to make the two teams one. And we made them all go on to level 1, Blizzard. And that's the team that we took to Celebration in Florida. And they did so well. Like, in the back, they did so well. On the floor, they still did well. But the second half of the pyramid, we had a 2-part pyramid. The second part of the pyramid fell. All 3 stunts. Boop. And then they did the dance and everything. The problem with the celebration was the scoring. It was like, they said, the first place team that beat us and our score, it just didn't make sense. So we went to, like, dispute the scoring, and we're disputing running tumbling, because they said in the comments, the tumbling judge was saying basically that we didn't have no elite tumbling, but all I have is elite tumblers. Like, we tumble, like we tumble for level 1. Level 1 has all elite tumblers. So okay, so we disputing that, and he comes out and he says that he's disputing standing tumbling. I said, yeah, we're not disputing standing tumbling. We're disputing running tumbling. He said, oh, yeah, I need you to go back there. Go back. Because you're disputing the wrong thing. So then he looks through it and he realizes, we was right. They all are elite passes, and we get a higher score in that section, but he didn't calculate the total score going up. All our other scores, like overall dance and all that, was so low. Like, it's the lowest of the lowest scores, right? Mind you, if we look like crap, I'm not the girl to be like, we look so good. If my team look like some crap, I'm gonna tell you they look like some crap. For example, they gave us a 1.3 for dance, right? I know you lying. I know you lying. Right, because my girls can dance. That's one thing we could do. We could dance, we could tumble, we could jump. Jumps be on. Our jumps are high. We could dance, we could tumble. So when I look at them sections, if they don't make sense, I know you're lying. I know you lying, right? Tell me why, y'all. We at the awards, and the other team wins and all that, and I'm thinking to myself, I want to see that score sheet so bad, right? That's what I'm thinking to myself. Right? But they announced Coldway for Best Dance. I'm like, I'm thrown off because we always get a high dance score. So that 1.3 threw me off, because we just was at Greenbelt. They gave it a 2.0. But now it's a 1.3. I'm like, okay. So then they say Best Dance Code with Athletics. Blizzard. I need to talk to somebody, because how is a 1.3 Best Dance? Clearly the judge that did dance didn't like our dance, but somebody else did. So that happened. And then on top of that, pyramid. Remember I told you 2-part pyramid. The pyramid second part fell down. So the highest score you can get in pyramid is an 8. Why did they give us a 7? So the pyramid section fell down. You gave us a 7.0. Because I'm thinking to myself, we're going to get low score for pyramid. Because that 3 stunts, all 3, that major fall, boom, fell. I'm thinking we're going to get like a low score. A 7. 1 deduction. 3 stunts failed. Okay. Confused. So, like, yeah. That was all confusing. And I'm pretty sure they have, because varsity have their way of explaining everything that doesn't explain nothing. They just be talking, trying to sound like they know what they're talking about. But you still be looking at them like, okay, because you lying. But y'all don't get me started on varsity. But yeah, anyway, so I'm so sorry, y'all. Please ignore me. I'm being foolish a little bit. But no, for real though, varsity be playing. And they just be playing too much. But yeah, so not this, like I'm a genie. So yeah, moving on. So that happened. Y'all, Florida was a mess. Like, we got the house. We was like, I was taking the girls to the pool, and they went to the movies to go see Sinners. Well, some of them, the older girls, not all of them. You know, Sinners kind of like. So yeah, we was trying a lot. It was a lot. And then we had to go to Virginia Beach next weekend. Virginia Beach. So everybody prepared for Virginia Beach. And you know what I did? I canceled. Put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. I know you got the gun at my face right now. Put it down. Put the judgment gun down. Put it down. Please put it down. I know. I canceled that competition 3 days before competition. I withdrew Cold Wave Athletics from U.S. Finals in Virginia Beach. And on top of that, I canceled the banquet. Yes, it was money concerns, but I could have still threw the banquet. And I still had money to throw the banquet. It wasn't Cold Wave money. I would just use my own personal money, but I would have thrown the banquet. But after that long season of just BS, I was tired after Florida. After Florida just drained me so bad. Just as an owner, it drained me, and I was done. And now we're in season 4, and take what you want from that, all them stories and stuff. Take what you want. But now it's season 4. No athletes returned. Except for coaches' kids. No athletes returned for summer training. But I did get new athletes. But no athletes returned. And for tryouts, only one athlete returned from last season. And I sent her to Power Athletics. Because she was just too good. That would have been selfish to keep her and her talents at Cold Wave. I say, you need to go Power. Like, you got to go somewhere, you know. And out of all the programs, I like Power. So, yeah, to the Power. And now, before first practice is like a week and a half away. I am in the search of athletes to rebuild Cold Wave Athletics season 4. And I have retired both of those team names. Cold Wave will never ever use Blizzard or Hailstorm ever again. And I learned a great big lesson. This is business, baby. This ain't personal. You ain't got no friends. You gotta think business-wise. And I'm doing that from now on. Yeah, that's my TED Talk. I guess I had to just get it off my chest. That's why I'm making a video about it. I'm pretty sure it's other stories that you're going to hear about this that's going to stem from it. But I don't care. I do not care. This is my story. This is my truth. So it is what it is. Blessings to all my previous athletes. I hope you guys do extremely well in your endeavors in life and whatever cheer team you go to or whatever you do. You all are great athletes no matter what. And I know you guys will do good on whatever team you're going to be on. But yeah, and thank you for all my parents that, was with me from season 1 and season 3. Thank you guys for just believing in the program and in the processing of it all. I'm just a black girl trying to fix mistakes and try to build a legacy and trying to build, a strong community. I just didn't get it right the first couple of years, but I'm definitely going to do better. Definitely going to do better. But yeah, blessings to you guys too, and thank you for seeing a vision. I'm out. Peace.